Yo, what's up guys? I'm Gym Leader Tyler, and today we're going to talk about my top 5 features that Pokemon 2019 needs to have. There's definitely a large amount of hype for the next set of Pokemon games for the Switch, since we know that these are going to be the next main series games. These are all going to be my own personal opinion, so if you don't agree with some of the things that I say, or think that other things should be on the list, that's perfectly fine. But yeah, let's hop right into it. So first up is a point that I touched on in my top 5 most exciting and scary things about Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee video. So if you haven't seen that, you should check it out. And that's changing up the Pokemon formula. Obviously I love Pokemon and I love the games that came before the upcoming 2019 game, but I think it's important for Pokemon to get creative with their formula and provide a new experience for us fans. I'm certain that they recognize this, and I'm really excited for what they have in store for us next year. A lot of people have been gunning for an open world Pokemon game, so maybe Game Freak it's worth a try. Alright, so my number 4 on the list is definitely a fan favorite and is showing up in the current upcoming game, Pokemon Let's Go. And that's Pokemon Following You. Now that Pokemon has moved over to the Switch, and the fact that Let's Go is going to contain following Pokemon, Game Freak will have no excuse for not having Pokemon follow you ever again. It's such a charming and immersive feature that everyone loves. Now that the gate has been open, no one's going to want it to disappear. Honestly, I expect Pokemon 2019 to have much better graphics than Let's Go, and probably less of a chibi style, and we'll probably have more of full-size people and full-size Pokemon, similar to Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon. But yeah, Game Freak, Pokemon, they just gotta follow you forever now. Alright, next up at number 3 is multiple regions. I know a lot of people have always talked about being able to go back to another region since Gen 2 gave us that option. That's because the feature is tons of fun and one of the best features that they've ever had. With the power and the capacity that the Switch offers, the Pokemon 2019 game has more than enough capability to provide us with another region, and I personally feel like it'd be a huge waste of potential for them not to give us another region to travel to. There's a lot of rumors floating around that the next region is going to be based on a European country and connected to Kalos, which honestly I think is pretty plausible and a really good idea. A lot of Kalos is unexplained and unexplored, and it has such a small amount of Pokemon introduced in it. It feels like there's much more to do in Kalos, and having that be the post-game of the next generation sounds perfect. Obviously something we all would want is a game where we can go back to every region, but I think I favor the idea of going back to Kalos a little more in terms of likeliness, just because that would be a huge project that I'm not sure Game Freak is quite ready for. But if this were the case, you wouldn't be hearing any complaints from me. Okay, climbing our way closer to the top, we have my number 2, and that's a deep emotional story. I don't mean to say that the stories of the past Pokemon games were bad by any means, but I think Pokemon has decided to make these crazy, otherworldly stories where you end up going through space and time or alternate dimensions, when instead of being complicated, they could tell deep, meaningful stories. I think the best stories are the ones that make you feel something, one that keeps you thinking and make you emotionally invested in the lives of the characters. I'm not really sure if many people share my sentiment, but I'd rather have a more intimate, small Pokemon game with strongly developed characters than a game where I get to ride a dragon into space and catch interdimensional beings, but obviously putting both of these together would be the sweet spot. Now we're right at the top. Honestly, this is probably the most obvious one, but I think everyone would agree that no matter what generation we're talking about, this feature will always remain at the top of people's lists, and that's new Pokemon. New Pokemon are always the focal point of new generations, and it's infinitely exciting to speculate and watch the reveals of the Pokemon that we're going to be able to catch. Although Kalos and Alola definitely had some great designs for their new Pokemon, I feel like me, personally, and probably the rest of the fanbase, hope to see a more full roster of Pokemon this time around. Even if they take the Gen 4 route and add new pre-evolutions and new evolutions, I really wouldn't mind. Actually, I would encourage that a lot. Actually, no, I just straight up want it. I just really want it. What people want is more and greatly designed Pokemon, and I think the best move on Game Freak's part is to really have an intense design process to give memorable and well thought out designs for their new upcoming Pokemon. Alrighty, that's my list of top 5 features that Pokemon 2019 needs to have. Hopefully Pokemon is able to include all these great features and then some in their next installment of Pokemon. There's definitely a lot of exciting stuff coming our way with Pokemon Let's Go quickly approaching, so we'll definitely have our hands full for a while before Pokemon 2019 even gets to us. But I think it's still fun to look ahead at what's to come. And honestly, even with Pokemon Let's Go coming, I'm still crazy excited for this game, and I just can't wait. Thanks for watching, guys. If you disagreed with anything on the list or want to voice your opinions, feel free to leave a comment with your list of features that you need to have for Pokemon 2019. If you liked that video, please give it a like. And if you like me, maybe subscribe. If you want to. No pressure.